Hey, what's up, ADOS? This is B-Jax with the Black Views News, and today I have a special report for you today. Today I have a video here with President Trump. Evidently, he lashed out at Elijah Cummings for Elijah Cummings' comments that he made during the congressional hearings. Now, I want to say this to you. I'm playing this because the strategy here is for black people not to get flustered by this, okay? Remember, this is the media. This is what the white media is putting out. So you have to analyze exactly what they're trying to do or what avenue they're going in, okay? So let's take this for example. Elijah Cummings gets in Congress and he tears into I guess the Border Patrol people, the organizations that are regulating the border activities right now. I'll just say that. There's several different departments that are involved with that are in Trump's administration, that are at the border right now, which are, of course, you've heard about the immigrants that are here. They're being detained, the children, and so forth and so forth. Well, evidently, they're not being treated properly, and that's nothing new in America. They're not being treated properly, and so Mr. Elijah Cummings made comments when talking about the activities and the welfare of the people down there. He reached out, he kind of lashed out in a way, I guess, yelling at white people, wagging his finger. And so Mr. Trump kind of lashed back. And so what I'm going to do is here, I have a video here. It's only 3 minutes and 27 seconds, but I'm going to play it. And in the midst of the video, I'm going to stop for commentary. I want to break this down to you, especially my brothers and sisters, ADOS, fundamental black fundamentalists or fundamental blacks. You know who it is, the ancestors of the descendants of slavery, okay? All right, so here's some information for you. And like I said, I'm going to stop from time to time to go into it. So let's start with the video.
President Trump again being called a racist after a nasty new attack on a top-ranking member of Congress and the district that he serves. Calling his district on Twitter today, attacking House Oversight Committee. Trump again being called a racist.
Okay, I wanted to play that part again for you. So Trump is evidently being called a racist for the remarks that he made. Rodent-infested attacks. Let's play it through because this is what he's calling racist, and this is one of the things I want you to watch out for and not get yourself emotionally involved into the rhetoric that's being used, okay? Especially by the white media. Once again, let's go with it. If I can find it.
After a nasty new attack on a top-ranking member of Congress and the district that he serves. The president on Twitter today attacking House Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings, calling his district, which includes parts of Baltimore and is majority black, a, quote, rat and rodent-infested mess that no human would want to live in. The attack follows critical remarks Cummings made when the acting Homeland Security Secretary testified before Congress earlier this month about the conditions in migrant detention centers. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi swiftly condemning the comment as racist, and she's not alone. ABC White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is at the White House.
Tonight, the president lashing out at yet another minority member of Congress, this time Congressman Elijah Cummings and his district, calling it a disgusting rat and rodent-infested mess. President Trump taking on the chair of the House Oversight Committee, tweeting he's a brutal bully after this exchange over the treatment of migrant children with the acting head of Homeland Security at a hearing last week.
Come on, man. What's that about? None of us would have our children in that position. They are human beings.
But
okay, so now listen to that. This is Elijah Cummings, and he's a representative for, I believe, the 7th district in Maryland. I currently live in Maryland, but he's the 7th district in Maryland, which is the Baltimore area. And there's a county on the outskirts of that, a Howard County, that he represents. Now, the president called it rat rodent infested. Is this not true? Is this not true? This is true for just about every major city in America. Rat roach infested. In every major city. In D.C., they have a problem with rats and roaches. Okay? All right. So when he lashes out at Elijah Cummings the media immediately spins it and says that he's being racist. Okay, so let's think about what. Let's ask the question: what is Elijah Cummings doing for his city? What is he doing for where ADOS members live? Think about it for a second. Rat infested. He says even a human being wouldn't want to live there. Okay, but see, this is in this rhetoric. This is where black people become emotional, and they listen to the rat and roaches thing, and then see themselves as rats and roaches. Okay, and then when he says a human being doesn't live there, you're not actually listening to what he's saying. He's tearing into Elijah Cummings' ass. Basically, what he's saying is, you're worried about what the hell is going on. Like we always talk about. You're worrying about what the hell is going on at the border with the illegal immigrants and not worried about what's going on in Baltimore, where it's rat, roach infested. Crime is on the high. This is true. These are facts. What has Elijah Cummings? He's calling them out. Yes, Trump is a racist. We all know that he's a white supremacist. Okay, I'm not taking nothing from that. Okay, but he's being honest, and he's using that to his favor. Trump is. He's calling you out because he's saying, big shit going on in Baltimore. You haven't done anything in that city. There's nothing great coming out of there. Where black people are, where ADOS members are. And look at the tenacity that Elijah Cummings uses. Hey man, you wouldn't put our kids out. But you got kids in Baltimore dying every day. 6, 7, 8 at a time in the major cities all over the United States. But he gets up the gonads and the girth to go after the president for what's going on the border. Now, I wouldn't have a problem if he was going after the president for what was going on in Baltimore. We need more money for programs, after-school programs for kids to keep them out of the streets. We need more money for computers and laptops so they can spend more time learning instead of being in the streets. That's what kids want to do. Kids need structure and want structure. We need that money so we can train these mothers and fathers how to be better parents. That's why we need reparations. He won't come out and say anything about reparations. But for the immigrants at the, excuse my language, I don't want to curse, but the immigrants at the border, bro, they're not even from this country. They shouldn't even be here. But the motherfuckers at the border, he has all this energy and all this testosterone and want change, but won't ask for that kind of change in Baltimore. Well, why isn't Elijah Cummings yelling and screaming at the governor of Maryland, asking for more funds, pushing and complaining, banging on tables? Why isn't he doing that at a hearing for Maryland, period, for all of Maryland? But once again, black people don't have representation in Congress. We just have what you call figureheads. There are people that sit there, so when you look in the room, you see black face. And no one can say that blacks are not being represented or in Congress. Technically, you can't say that. But when we look and we see the actions from our representatives that you put in office, Baltimore, majority black and all that. You put this man, he's been in office since 1996. 1996. And what has happened in Baltimore from 1996 to now? What great programs have his administration produced? What opportunities have been opened up for young black men in Baltimore? Where's the money to put into programs to save the kids in the streets, man? You wouldn't want your kids out there like that. Elijah Cummings, your kids ain't in the streets like that. But there are kids in the streets like that. Why aren't you screaming and yelling and tossing and turning and spitting? Why aren't you doing this on the House floor for Baltimore? Why aren't we hearing about that? But once again, the charade is to have black voters emotionally charged so that you will vote for Democrat. Once again, this is the trick. This is the trick. This is a trick to get your vote for free. They don't even want to basically advertise to you, black man, black woman. They don't want to even like dance for your vote. They don't even want to offer anything in return for your vote. They want to frighten you and scare you into it. Listen, Donald Trump has been president thus far. We have taken all that he has had to offer. Okay, so he's in there for 4 more years. So guess what? You want to vote for a person in Democrat who doesn't care for you, who doesn't care about where your kids are at night. You don't hear any of this shit. But he wants your vote. So let's get through the video. Here we go.
The president didn't stop there. Writing Maryland's 7th district that Cummings represents is far worse and more dangerous than the southern border, adding it's a filthy place and no human being would want to live there. The district includes most of Baltimore, the state's largest city. The majority of its residents, black. It's not the first time the president has used the word infested as an insult. Shortly before taking office, he suggested that civil rights icon Congressman John Lewis's district, which includes Atlanta, is, quote, falling apart and crime infested.
But is the president of the United States lying when he says this? He's not lying. It's falling apart and it's crime infested. You might not want to hear this shit. I mean, because Donald Trump is saying it. But is he lying? And so therefore the only response to this is it's racism. So you see black people, so instead of us getting justice and this congressman saying, hey, a matter of fact, hey, we need this, we need that, we need this. Now that you brought it up, Mr. President, no, it just becomes racist. They want you to be angry and scare you into a vote. They don't even want to talk to us intelligently. These are the different tactics that they are using. Scare us into a vote. So let's listen. The president's not lying. He's the president of the United States, and he's coming down with his report. He is telling his underlings, all the politicians beneath him, and in particular, he is telling the representative of District 7 that your area is a mess. Look at it as a business, okay? Trump is a supervisor, so he's telling his leads, this isn't right. He's the president of the United States, so he's telling the congressman, your shit is falling apart. Your areas are crime infested. I mean, we all know this is a game plan of white supremacy. But we're talking about Elijah Cummings. We're talking about Elijah Cummings and his reactions. He getting loud. He cares about the babies and the families. He cares about the kids being separated from the mothers and the fathers. But that's happening every day in our jail system. That's happening every day with juveniles. They're getting taken from their mothers and their fathers. Every day in our system. So the point that I'm trying to say is that, yes, the things that the president is saying is to burn Elijah Cummings. But the way this is being broadcasted in the media, they want ADOS people in general to be angry, and then say, you know what, I'm going to vote for just Democrats. So that means instead of us screening any of these candidates, we're just going to vote for Democrats because what this man's saying. But when you actually analyze what he's saying, What is he saying right now that's wrong? So let's roll it. Let's finish.
And earlier this month, Congress voted to condemn the president for racially charged comments about 4 congresswomen of color, telling the members, who are all American citizens, to, quote, go back to the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came. One of those congresswomen, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, was born in Somalia.
See? It tells her to go back to where she came. Now, that might not sound good. That may not have been a good choice of words. Once again, look at all these white people, man. Listen, they like the shit Trump is saying, because Trump is saying the things that's making them believe that they're going to be back in control, man. That these white people feel like they lost a piece of America. Now that you can see a person come from war-torn Somalia and sit in Congress and wag her finger at other white people. So basically, what Trump is doing is amplifying supposedly the average white man, which he really doesn't care about. But he's trying to amplify their message. So when he says these things, the red blood born American white man, he's a rebel. He rebel yells. That's what that rebel yell's about. So this is a rebel yell. And I mean, if you ever watch Dukes of Hazzard, they call it the rebel yell. This is what a rebel yell is. When you look at this picture right here, this is a rebel yell. This is the echo of frustrated white men. So that's all right now Trump is saying. Trump is a genius when it comes to this. He's a businessman. Okay? He's doing this for white people. And what black people have to understand is he's the president for white people, not the president for everybody. Because if he was, black people, if white men were the president for everybody, black people would have been in a better situation already. Now understand, we're talking about generations. My father, they're not on the internet. My father's father, they're not on the internet. They're not reading this shit. They're dead already. But the point I'm trying to say, they didn't have this information back then. So media was totally 100% controlled by white people and how information was disseminated. All right, so let's finish.
The crowd at a recent Trump rally taunting her.
See, Trump knows what time it is. He's controlling the crowd. He like moving the crowd. Like he is the MC. Okay? And the audience, he right now he rapping, and all these white people out here, that's his audience. They came to hear him speak. Listen.
Today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi calling the president's latest attack racist.
Once again, Nancy Pelosi, she just calls it racist. Like nothing about what he's saying is true, because what I'm trying to say is nothing about what he is saying she is actually dissecting or analyzing. She's just saying we all reject racist attacks against him. She's just coming out and calling this a racist matter. Where's he didn't say anything about black people. He just said it's a fucked up city. We all know it's a fucked up city. Black people are the way they are because of the city being fucked up. The city isn't fucked up because of black people. See, that's how black people need to really think about it. The city isn't fucked up because of black people. Black people are fucked up because of the city. Okay, policies, arrests, day-to-day terror. Yeah, black people being terrorized by other black people. Okay, because ain't no money in it. There's no money being invested in those children. Okay, the police in Baltimore, they hover the streets 24/7. They're gonna find an arrest. They'll find someone loitering. They'll find someone walking. They'll find someone for walking and drinking. You see what I'm saying? But when you go back on these little county roads, where the white people live at, the police are not up there. Okay, because all the property is downtown. So they want to protect those government facilities and those big buildings down there. So they have the police just circling all day long. Okay? And in black communities also. There's a lot of black communities that's nowhere near a city. But they just have more and more police, and they'll just say, yeah, this is because the numbers project that the crime is more over here, so we have to put more police over here. Meanwhile, there's less police where the white people are, so they're doing drugs. They're walking drunk. They're gambling in the streets. They're doing all kinds of fucking things, but they don't have the same supervision that black people have. So let's move on.
And CNN anchor Victor Blackwell, who was raised in Cummings district, breaking down on the air.
That no human would want to live there. You know who did, Mr. President? I did. People are proud of their community.
Cummings defending his record.
Now that brother that was just crying, once again, look, black man, we're not going to be crying about some shit that white people say. Okay? This been going on for over 400 years. The white man has been defacing us, debasing us, and saying all type of things that are, you know, bywords. That's what the Bible calls them, bywords. And then we have all kind of bywords. I'm tired of seeing niggas on here crying, man. Because what it does is you have other people that don't know black people or never been around black people, and they look at this guy and they see him as, you know, regular average white person sees that guy as an uppity nigga and shit. You see what I'm saying? Because he has on a certain shirt and tie. You know, that white guy is trying to understand why the hell he's even ahead of him. Because he's black. And he gets on TV and he's crying. So these cries are like cries of surrender. They're like, oh, they're beating us so bad. So guess what? We can't do nothing, so we'll just cry. And that's exactly what that is. You know, you turn the black man into punks. Why do black men have to watch TV and see other black men constantly crying? And see black women crying? Why are we constantly on TV crying about something that a white man does or something that a white man says? Why haven't we got through our mind already that, hey, these people are just unjust? I don't care how you put it, man. I mean, you could try to, you know, look at logic into why these things happen and why there's these schools over here in the black area bad and the ones over in the white area good, but you got our badass athletes over there in your white schools. You see what I'm saying? Like they gouge us. They constantly gouge our communities. And people like this are supposed to be the gatekeepers. They're supposed to be the gates of our community to protect us, to inform us, to put things in place for us. This man has been in Congress since 1996, and I haven't seen it. Is nothing has changed for the people of Baltimore. So he gets called out by the president. Why should we defend Elijah Cummings? Let his ass burn. See, it's racist now because they hit a bone. And so with the Democrats, they don't want to, see, look, their agenda is to basically get the black vote, right? How they're going to do it, they're going to simulate someone to say that they're black and they're not black. They're going to do that, or in this case here, scare us. We got to get Trump out of there, man. We ain't got to do shit. What we have to do is we have to come together in how we work. When I say we work, I'm talking about ADOS. How we spend our money. We have to network 1,000 times better than we're doing here. We can do a lot. We have spending power. We have collectively. We have money. We are a base. Our base is tremendous in spending. Kids buy Nikes. Kids buying Nikes, man. We ain't even talking about adults. Kids out here buying Nikes, man. Cost more than the ones I have. So there are things we can do. You can ensure that on your local level, you are putting people in Congress that are actually ADOS people. I mean, this is an ADOS man. This man is ADOS. But he's a swing door. He's a figurehead. Okay, he's confused. Look how old this motherfucker is, man. He's confused. It's nothing this man can do for us. Only thing he can do is talk. He speak a good game. Look, he don't even have any facial hairs. He doesn't have a mustache, a beard, no fucking hair. I mean, it's just like he has assimilated himself into Congress, and he is white basically. He has assimilated himself into just being Congress because he doesn't represent shit. What he is a congressman from Baltimore. Okay, he's not representing anybody. He's the one that's put in that place to sit there. He's not doing a goddamn nothing. He's doing anything, nothing, nothing is coming good out of Baltimore. The only thing is it's the stadium. They built a stadium. Okay, they want to make sure that the boardwalk, the waterfront is good, the harbor and shit. You know what I'm saying? And some crabs and all that shit. Bro, it's just fucked up. Baltimore is fucked up. It is. And people from Baltimore will tell you that shit. Okay, but what they're trying to do is rally us and work our emotions. Yeah, you from Baltimore, man. You see how you talk about the city, man? You know, what they're trying to do is like, okay, you know, when black men go into the military or when they go to college, they normally carry on where they're from. Where they're from is like who made you. Okay, what makes you a strong man? Man, I came from the streets of Baltimore. A lot of times they're not saying that. They're not saying that because they enjoy how they lived. What they're saying is that they have endured. They have outlasted. They're not a statistic. They came through the statistics and they made it. So when somebody says, man, I'm from Baltimore and that's my home city, they know they have friends there, they have families there, they have people that grew up there, their school, they competed in high school. That's where the stuff starts, elementary school, middle school, junior high school, and then high school. That's where you gain that spirit of core of your region, where you're from. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm from here, man. I'm from DC. It doesn't mean that because if I say I'm from DC that I agree with the politics or I agree that how the people was treated. So don't get this confused. Don't mesh this together. This isn't meant to be meshed together. So let's move on. Let's finish this video. It was a 3-minute video.
Tweeting, Mr. President, I go home to my district daily. Each morning, I wake up and I go and fight for my neighbors.
And Tara Palmieri joins us now from the White House. Tara, we heard in your report that hearing with Representative Cummings that angered the president was more than a week ago. Do we know what prompted this rant today?
Tom, while we can't be sure, the president's tweet came about an hour after a Fox News segment showing video of piles of trash and abandoned buildings in West Baltimore. It also showed people saying that they believe that they are living in worse living conditions than the people on the border. Tom?
Tara Palmieri for us tonight. Tara, thank you.
Okay, so that wraps that video up. But I just want to give additional commentary. Did you hear what the lady said at the end? People are saying that they feel like they live in somewhere that's insane. So how is Elijah Cummings not understanding this? And then he gets in Congress and he bears down and talks about what's going on at the border. Do you see how we're catching these people in traps? And guess what? Trump is setting them. Okay, brothers and sisters, I just want to put this information out there. I really didn't want to make this video that long, but I felt that it was important to break down the tactic that's being used by the white media right now, trying to get to us emotionally instead of intellectually. But that's why we have black media here. And I'm so thankful, you know what I'm saying, for the brothers and sisters that take the time to put the content up, because I learned from them too, okay? I listen to a lot of brothers and sisters out here, and you know some things I may not agree with, but majority we're on code, and everybody's is going in the same direction, and I love that because we've been I believe that this is something that we needed. We just never knew which way to go with it, and now it's been identified as to who we are and what it is. And man, listen, we could do more than this. Right now, this is just a start. We're controlling the narrative. We're controlling the conversations. You know, after that, we can start doing things with the decision on who we buy from, what we buy from, or what we're known for. We can really do some things for good. And once again, you know, ADOS is of righteous power. ADOS is of righteous politics. Okay? Because we are people that's been down. And now we're rising. And so people that's been down understand what it's like to be down and hopefully make the best leaders. So brothers and sisters with the right mind, we just continue to learn. And one of the things I'll say, the more you learn about your black history, the more you learn about ADOS history, the more you'll be able to see through these tricks that they play. You'll see it because it's been happening for 400 years. And a lot of shit that's happening, there's no excuses for. Like, no one can explain the shit that be happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of shit is very evident. It's just no one's saying anything. But now, as a collective voice, instead of just standing by and constantly listening to white media dictate to you, now we can communicate together with these messages. So I just want to thank you. If you like the commentary, please like, also subscribe. All right? Thank you. Have a great day.